Bitte begrüßen Sie Ulrich Tukur.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a big hearty welcome. I'll do this in English. Hoffentlich geht das hier mit dem Licht. Moment. Well, so I prepared myself today in the train, on the plane. I forgot my glasses, though. Oh my God. Well, I have. No, this is wirklich eine Blackbox hier. So I have never done this. I never held a speech, and I would have never done it if it wasn't for Costa-Gavras, who coincidentally happens to be here tonight. Kalispera. Well, what shall I say? We all know his films. They are wonderful films. They are very stunning political statements, carried by a deep sense of humanism and empathy. Costa's films are angry protests against totalitarian systems, no matter of what political shade. They are passionate pleas for justice and human dignity and unfold thrilling stories of individuals caught in the trap of history, opening our eyes for policy on a large scale and what it can do with us. Not bad, huh? Oh, that's not fun. Well, here we go. I continue. His films, and that is true, his films change us. They make us aware and attentive, and they make us often very furious. And what can a political film, what more can a political film achieve than that? But ladies and gentlemen, I am not a film expert. I am a mediocre actor and a most talented accordion player. And I haven't mounted this very stage here to talk about a successful and world-famous film director who won all the prizes that you can win in the glamorous world of cinema. I want to lose a few words about a man who has touched me very much in my life. I remember very vividly, Costa, when we started the film, first day of Amen, der Stellvertreter in Bucharest, in the Media Pro studios. It was very unfortunate because the first day I was confronted with a scene that carried an awful lot of text. And I was very insecure, and I did not know how to approach this very complex and a dark figure of Kurt Gerstein, one of the two protagonists of the film that we made with each other. Kurt Gerstein was an active Christian of the so-called confessing church and an SS man at the same time. So I asked Costa, I don't know how to play this. Can you just tell me? Shall I do it openly? Shall I be aggressive, or shall I take myself back? Shall I show a little bit of the anxiety, of the fears of this man? And I remember you saying that, Uli, I gave you that role, and you are my Kurt Gerstein, and you will just do it right. I was a bit surprised because, and I just played because you did not give me. It was so affirmative, and you were so quiet and so wonderful and heartwarming about this that I just could not help to do it right. And you did not give me a chance to mess it up. And that was the first time that I met a director like you. Now, thank you. Now, Kurt Gerstein, as you will see in the film later, was an abysmal, das ist ein tolles Wort, das heißt abgründig, was an abysmal and very contradictory character. I always felt him to be a little bit like the dark brother of Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And it took decades until Kurt Gerstein finally was acknowledged as a man of the resistance against Nazism. And it was very, very courageous of Costa to unfold the disastrous role of the Vatican in World War II in this film, and it was even more daring at that time, 17 years ago, to portray an SS-man with a Christian conscience and a humane attitude. And we were terribly bashed for that. I remember, the premiere in Berlin. That was really terrible. And then we had another premiere in Rome, and the discussions that we had to encounter after that were fierce, and the resistance of the journalists was very, very strong. And I remember that we returned from the film premiere of Amen in Rome. Late at night, we went back to the hotel. And there was no one there except you, me, your lovely wife Michelle, who is unfortunately not here tonight, and my two friends Ulrich and Günther, my fellow musicians, who were invited by you. And we were just sitting in this huge lobby that was completely empty. And there was only one man, do you recall that? There was one man sleeping in one of the armchairs with glasses, a very fat man, snoring. And we ordered some drinks, and the cameriere said, no, è troppo tardi, non ci sono le bevande di più, no, tutto è chiuso. And this man, waking up, putting his sunglasses down, looking at us, looking at you, recognizing you, smiling at you, did this to nodded to the waiter, pointed to us, and did this. And within 2 minutes, we had like champagne, we had red wine, we had white wine, we had whiskey, everything, you name it. It was absolutely incredible. And then I started to, I sat down on the piano, because there was a piano, and Günther took his contrabass, and Uli took his guitar, and we started to play a swing song of the 1930s. And you went up with Michelle, and you started to dance, a lonely couple, just like young lovers, in an empty, huge lobby, and I remember Michelle starting to cry, because it had been a very long, a very tough, and a very disappointing day for us. And I thought, oh my God, this is such a poetic and wonderful moment. It is so heartwarming that this was the moment when I fell in love with you, Tupu. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Costa, it was more than a pleasure to share 3 films with you. It was a grand gift. Era veramente un grande regalo. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to present to you one of the most prolific and important political filmmakers in the history of cinema, Costa-Gavras.
Der große griechische Regisseur Costa-Gavras ist für das Festival Hellas Filmbox 2017 für nur 24 Stunden hierher nach Berlin gereist. Wir bedanken uns für dieses Statement. Ευχαριστούμε πολύ τον Κώστα Γαβρά για την παρουσία του εδώ στο φεστιβάλ.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You can see how happy a director can be having the actors like him. It was a pleasure.